Hello, my name is Ralf Friedrichs. I'm an addiction recovery coach and the host of the Take Your Life Back Today show. As an addiction recovery coach, I want to share something with you and let me be crystal clear to leave an everlasting impact upon you. Just imagine being buried alive. You're in a coffin, but you know you're not dead. You don't know how to get out of that coffin. Try lifting the lid, but the enormous weight upon the lid prevents you from opening it. Try banging on the lid. Hopefully it'll unsettle the dirt. Maybe somebody might notice on top and start digging their way down towards you. This is what it's like to feel at the lowest point of alcohol and drug addiction. You know you need help, you know you can't do it on your own, but you don't know where to turn. In reality, there are people standing near your grave. You just don't know that. You just think you're going to die. Usually, though, people don't think about death when they're habitually abusing drugs and alcohol. In order to defeat addiction, you have to be great at repressing the fear of death. I often ask you, my audience, did it ever cross your mind while you were abusing drugs and alcohol that you might just overdose and take something away that God had given you called life? If you don't care about your life, what about the people that do care about your life, that count and need you and love you? People like your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, husband, wife, children, even your grandchildren. With this, let me leave one last thought. Don't be like the person that I just spoke about that went to their grave without seeking help. Instead, pick up the phone and call me at 844-405-HELP, and I promise I'll help you take your life back. For your life is gone. I want to talk about this short segment because I don't want to lose another friend to either alcohol addiction or substance abuse or drug addiction. No one would choose to be an addict. That I can guarantee you. I never chose to be an addict. There's no clear way for me to, articulate the hell of active addiction because there's no way to explain it. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. It was an early Monday morning while waiting to have blood drawn in my doctor's office. I was scrolling through my Facebook news feed. One friend had posted about feeling heartbroken. She didn't mention what she was heartbroken about, my friends, but the comments indicated that someone had passed away in her life. A few posts down, another friend's status mentioned having lost way too many friends to drugs and alcohol addiction. I wondered to myself, I said, if the posts were related, and I wondered if I somehow knew this person, because it was a friend on Facebook, and a friend of Facebook, usually they're friends, and most of my friends on Facebook went to school with me. A few more posts down, scrolling down, I learned that someone had died, and it was someone I knew quite well. Well, he had not been close in the past several years because I've been out of high school for a very long time outside of Facebook comments and messages. I've known him most of my childhood, teenage, and early adulthood life. And there was a time when he was actually an active part of my life growing up. As I waited in the crowded waiting room at the doctor's office, my ears began to ring. A cold sweat broke out across the back of my neck, and I felt nauseous, and I felt dizzy. I thought to myself, what happened? I sent out a few text messages to friends on the West Coast, even though they were probably still asleep. After a short while, I heard back. He overdosed. He was found in his car. I felt shocked. I felt sick. And, of course, I felt very sad. I had heard he had been struggling with drug addiction again, but it seemed unreal, and it seemed out of my grasp of helping. As the day wore on, I had learned more about the circumstances of his death, and in the recent last few months of his life, I began to feel grief. Part of me felt that I was not entitled to do it. We had not been close in years. His death was no direct bearing in my life whatsoever, but the sadness overwhelmed me because he was a big part of my life at a pivotal point of time. Since 2013, as you all know, I have lived in recovery because of that. He was such a big pivotal part of my life because I was constantly, each and every day, as you know, posting and doing these shows all about how to deal with drug addiction, how to live in recovery. Damn it, I said to myself. There is a part of me that feels peace and relief knowing that I've tried everything, that he was untethered from his lifelong battle with addiction. Then there's another part of me brokenhearted for his son, his daughter, and his family. and the people that remain close with him. And there's another part of me that still feels angry and at the people who say things like, well, that's where his choices got him. I don't believe that addiction can be understood in terms of choice. No one would choose to be an addict. There is no clear way for me to articulate the hell of active addiction. Like I said, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Me, June 22nd, 2013. I got out of addiction. I won that damn lottery. Yes, it took work on my part. And yes, to maintain it for all these years is active work on my emotional and mental health. But maybe some people are incapable of doing that. Or maybe they're not getting mental health issues addressed. I could not have stayed this sane and done the things that I've done to the point where my show is being played on different rehab centers throughout the United States, let alone live a alcohol-free life and doing all that. That's not to say that any alcoholic or addict gets a pass of personal responsibility, because no one does. But the cunning and baffling disease of alcoholism and drug addiction is just that, cunning and baffling. This particular fellow who overdosed, he didn't have moral failures. He had a thing called addiction or substance abuse, a thing that I call a disease. And for those of us who got out, that were able to learn to live with it, we are so lucky, and I thank Jesus each and every day for it. And we should be grateful, and we should not take our mental, our emotional, spiritual well-being ever for granted. If you are someone struggling, watching me right now, I tell you there is hope. There is true recovery. I am the poster child of that. But it is an ongoing process. It won't come easy. But with heart and hard work and the help of God, one that this is a task that will really never end to fight. But with their help, you can beat this. You can live with it. That's not a bad thing, I say. That's a life thing. If I could wave my magic wand and relieve people of addiction to slowly or quickly kill themselves, I would. Or I should say of the affliction of slowly or kill. If I wish I had the power, all I have are my words, my shows, and my actions, and my share in grief and plea that you take your spiritual, mental, and emotional health seriously, that you get help, and that you ask for help, that you do not ever, ever, ever give up. And for those of us on the other side, like that my friend that overdosed, take care, lend a hand in heaven, and look around your beautiful sights up there. And know this, that for all of us left here on earth that are struggling with alcohol and drug addiction, may you all seek, find, and live in recovery. Because one day, if one gives up, one ever gives up, you will end up like my friend. Heaven's not a bad place, but earth is a place where you want to stay as long as you can and not accelerate to go to heaven. You have so much here to live for. So do just that. Live. And may God bless you.